I'm holding a VHS copy of the funniest movie of all time, Caddyshack.
Is that so? Who made you pope in this dump, huh?
Starring Thornton Mellon and Mallory's dad from Natural Born Killers, Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, somebody stepping a duck?
Henry Rush, and the star of the Ted Knight Show, Ted Knight.
Why don't you drop by the yacht club?
Thank you, sir. All right.
Fletch and Clark Griswold, Chevy Chase.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rob you. But you were born to rub me first.
And Dr. Peter Venkman and Steve Zissou, Bill Murray.
But I have a lot of things that are on order. You know, credit trouble.
In the time it takes to rewind this tape, I'm going to answer all of your golfing questions. Like, what do you want to get to eat?
I want a hamburger. No, a cheeseburger. I want a hot dog. I want a milkshake. I want potato
You'll
chips.
get nothing and like it.
Wait, how much was that Coke?
That's only 50 cents.
Yeah, Lou raised the price of Coke. He's been losing it to track.
Well, I ain't paying no 50 cents for no Coke.
Then you ain't getting no Coke. What I'm talking about?
And what do you got in here? Rocks?
Are you kidding? When I was your age, I would lug 50 pounds of ice up 5, 6 flights of stairs.
So what?
So what? So let's dance.
I answer all of these and more on this Looper edition of VHS Breakdown.
Looper. Caddy, Looper. John.
I'm Miguel Jose. I own a ton of movies, but they're all on VHS. No one wants to buy them. I can't even give them away. So I'm gonna watch these films and break them down one last time.
Carl, I really don't do this very often.
You're gonna love this. Is dynamite hack. Watch out for this.
Maybe one drag on it, I gotta go over.
It's a little harsh. But here, cannonball it. And then we'll go right back. And then one more of these right on top of it. Cannonball! Cannonball coming. Cannonball coming.
No!
So I just watched the tape, and what I just saw was a coming-of-age film about a troubled young boy searching for acceptance from his family and trying to find his true purpose in life.
He isn't gonna be a caddy all his life, is he?
No, I'm not talking about Danny Noonan.
You think you're cool, Danny?
I'm talking about the movie's true hero, Spaulding.
He's not a member, Grandma. He's a caddy.
The movie starts off and we meet Danny and his traditional small Irish Catholic family.
Honey, who is this?
That's your nephew.
What are we running, a restaurant?
Noonan's a caddy for Ty Webb, a man who has some great advice for young kids.
You take drugs, Danny? Every day. Good.
Then we meet maybe the funniest character in cinematic history, an extremely pissed off Ted Knight as Judge Smales. Now, most of you probably remember Bill Murray in this movie as the wacky and lovable assistant greenskeeper, Carl Spackler.
You ever want to rap or anything? You know, just talk or just, get weird with somebody. Buddies for life.
But I remember him not only as a murderous maniac who's down to kill people,
And that's how she wrote.
but also someone who has an extremely creepy fetish on older women.
You're lean, and you're mean, and you're not too far between either, I bet, are you, huh?
And by older, I mean straight up grandmothers.
I was unavoidably detained.
At this point, we see the actual Caddyshack, which is actually a funny name for this movie, considering it barely has anything to do with any of the caddies.
That's right, it sucks.
The movie wants us to believe that Danny Noonan is the hero, but watching it again, this kid is really kind of an a-hole.
What are you, a diabetic?
I don't know.
It starts with him tormenting Nunzio for no reason. a hard-working Italian who just spent his entire day caddying for two extremely old bastards.
Oh, Charlie, I'm hot today.
He's finally done working, and all he wants to do is get paid, grab a Coke, and go home. But instead, Danny refuses to give him his hard-earned money.
I can't pay you, Lou has to.
And he overcharges him for soda just to taunt him.
You know what I'm talking about?
Not cool, buddy.
Open up this door. Watch it, jerk. Jerk.
At this point, we finally meet the main star of our movie, the well-dressed and dashing young grandson of Judge Smales, Spaulding. He's a very special yet misunderstood young man.
Well, just ask my grandson Spaulding. He and I are regular pals.
As we can see when his grandfather makes him play a sport he has no interest in.
Spaulding, get dressed. You're playing golf today.
No, I'm not, Grandpa. I'm playing tennis.
You're playing golf, and you're going to like it.
And he even makes fun of his serious medical condition.
What about my asthma?
I'll give you asthma.
Then we meet the hilarious Rodney Dangerfield.
Hey, you want to make $14 the hard way?
Just like in Back to School, it's basically an hour and a half of him doing stand-up comedy.
Well, what's your favorite subject?
Poetry.
Really? Well, maybe you can help me straighten out my Longfellow.
Which also means it's f***ing awesome.
Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
We also meet Lacey Underall, who makes my 9-iron go, boo-hoo-hoo, whip! Lacey is Judge Smale's sexy niece, who also goes by the name
Donna with meatballs.
Speaking of Nunzio, he's clearly a hard-working young man, unlike Noonan, who's constantly trying to get free money from everyone. First with Ty Webb.
Hold on, Danny. I think I lent you, what, $250 yesterday? I can't foot the bill for everything around here. Let's not ask for money.
Then non-stop with Judge Smales.
Looks like my folks won't have enough money to put me through college.
Well, the world needs ditch diggers, too.
He even goes as low as trying to get money from the church.
I've often thought of entering the priesthood.
Oh, are you Roman Catholic? Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you can't come.
One quick note on this scene. This movie's literally as close to a perfect comedy as you can get, with some of the funniest lines ever. Except, of course, for this one line of dialogue, which is one of the worst lines in movie history.
You know, I've often thought of becoming a golf club.
Oh wait, my bad. It's the second worst line in movie history.
See, that's funny. I've never seen garbage eat garbage before.
We then meet Danny's girlfriend, Maggie, an Irish brogue who goes out of her way to help him find a better paying job.
I gotta work in the dining room tonight. Come work with me. You can bus tables.
Never done that.
She even helps train him.
It's easy. You fill the water glass, you replace the butter. If they drop a fork, you give them another one.
Although, real quick on Maggie, am I the only one who always thought that she was the daughter of the head's greenskeeper?
Damn your eyes, man.
So the entire film, everybody hates the evil Judge Smales. Mostly because he's an asshole who drops racial slurs left and right.
Have you heard the latest one about the Jew, the Catholic, and the colored boy who went to heaven?
Colored boy?
Why, you son of a bitch, I'll fix you, you fool.
And it's only after he assaults an older woman that he's finally gonna get the justice he deserves.
He almost killed my wife with his damn club! It was an accident. It slipped out of my hands.
Except wait! Noonan steps in and takes the blame instead, and totally blows it for everyone.
I noticed your grips were worn, sir. I should have mentioned to you before. I could put some stickum on there for you. It's my fault.
Not only that, how does he celebrate this betrayal? By throwing away his tip and drinking on the job. Then it's time for the big dinner at the country club. And it's here that we find that Spaulding has a very particular taste in fine dining.
You're gonna eat your fat.
Spaulding.
And even Rodney can see the promise in this bright young man.
That is your grandson, huh? Oh, wonderful boy. Nice boy you are. He's a good boy, I'll tell you. Now I know why tigers eat their young, you know?
Maggie really went out on a limb to try to get Danny this prestigious job. And how does he repay her? By hitting on Lacey right in front of her face.
She's been plucked more times than the rose of Tralee. Biggest tower on Fifth Avenue, I'm told.
Although it's kind of hard to blame him. Because besides being crazy hot, she's actually into a lot of cool things.
I enjoy skinny skiing, going to bullfights on acid.
So Bill Murray is back to perving on old ladies.
Wait up, girls. I got a salami I gotta hide still.
Which for once is literally the opposite of statutory rape.
A woman, she was adult.
Because what's an 80s movie without an older guy sleeping with a 15-year-old girl?
It was night putting. It's putting at night. The 15-year-old daughter of the dean.
We all know by now that 15 was the legal age to have sex in the 80s.
You sure you're only 15?
I'll be 16 in June.
But as we learned from Sarah Holcomb, the actress who plays Maggie, back in her first movie, Animal House, we learned that the legal age of consent was even younger in the 1960s.
I'm only 13.
So we finally get to the big caddy tournament, and the stakes are really high, with first place being a trophy and a full scholarship to college. Although, wait, what do you get for second and third place? A pair of socks and a bag of teas? Holy balls, is that a big drop-off? A determined young Nunzio comes ready to play. And on the last hole, he gets so close and he's about to win. But unfortunately, Noonan hits a miracle shot and gets the fluke win. Much like the New York Rangers in 1994. Maggie is so happy and proud of Noonan when he wins. She even lets him sink his balls in her 9-hole.
Why don't you come on in and help me sort my holy cards first?
But even in victory, Noonan still finds a way to taunt Nunzio and show us what a classless dirtbag he is. We eventually end up at the yacht club.
Spaulding, get your foot out the boat.
Spaulding, he's trying to impress his peers, this time offering them some recreational fun, which he heard was really neat.
Hey, what kind of shit is this? It's the best, man. I got it from a Negro.
And apparently this weed is really great. So great, in fact, it gets Lacey high enough that she's down to bang Noonan.
How hot I can get you?
Something he does even though his current girlfriend might be pregnant.
I'm late.
Late for what?
For not being pregnant.
Proving once again what a real bag of he is.
You've been a creep lately, and I just can't help it.
You're not a creep, Noonan.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
But we get to the end, and it's a huge money tournament between Rodney, Chevy, Judge Smales, and Dr. Beeper. Which, of course, the movie Caddyshack ends with the final scene involving none caddies.
Want to be replaced by golf carts? Just keep it up.
During the final match, Rodney suffers a serious injury.
Oh, my arm! It's broken!
And Noonan steps in to replace him. And it's up to him to hit the final shot. And even though Danny's done nothing but mock Nunzio the entire film,
Hi, guy.
he still can't help but root for Noonan in the end.
Noonan, you can do it.
And to show your enemy respect, even after they've treated you so terribly, I haven't seen a class act like that in a long time. I mean, the guy's awesome.
Haven't you ever messed up?
Oh. Well, the tape's done rewinding, which means it's finally time to show off my own golfing skills.
Did you miss it? God damn it! How am I missing it? I didn't get it.
Stop thinking. Let things happen. And be the ball.
This is the dumbest episode ever.
And that's how she wrote.